Hey everybody, Chad here. In this video, we're going to talk about a very unique situation, especially when it comes to law of attraction, manifesting, you're doing higher consciousness stuff, you're doing self-improvement, no matter what you're doing. But the unique thing that starts to happen is you always get the question of, well, Chad, I started law of attraction, I started all this positive thinking stuff, but I got fired from my job. You know what I mean? Or something negative happened. And what people like to do, they like to, blame law of attraction. They like to, law of attraction don't work because this negative thing happened in my life. Okay, so that's what we're going to discuss briefly today, and why this kind of happens. Okay, it's not, yes, it's technically law of attraction, or it's law of assumption, or laws of manifesting, laws of the universe. It's higher conscious stuff. Okay, you're basically trying to better your life, and something negative happened, and that just basically feels like your life is crumbling, like being fired from a job. And that, I mean, this recently actually happened to me, by the way. Now, I'll give you a brief story, then we'll kind of go into it. But a lot of you know that right now I'm in Ohio. I'm visiting my family. I've been visiting them for a year because I've been away for like 20 years in Los Angeles. I've lived in Thailand for a year. I am going back in Thailand in the next several months here. My ticket's always already bought. But since I kind of been in Ohio around these small towns, besides I have a business, I have like passive income coming in that I don't touch. I just let build. But what I did was I started in these small towns. I started getting jobs in factories. I never had a factory job because right out of high school, I went to college, got my degree, and I've always had a professional career. So basically what I did was besides taking the time to basically find a remote job or find a professional career in a small town, especially remote, it takes sometimes it takes time to do that. It was quicker just to go in a factory, earn quick money until I go back to Thailand. So basically that's what I was doing. On top of YouTube and my other businesses I run, keep afloat on that. But ironically, I just got fired. And because I mean, lots of times, if you have factory experience, you ever worked in a factory. For one, I never worked in a factory growing up or anything. So factories are very dirty, in my opinion, in these small towns. I mean, they don't follow labor laws or state labor laws. They do what they want to do. They're very dirty. I'm a type of guy, but I'm coming from a professional career. I'm coming from, management, senior management, VP. So lots of times people don't know how to handle me a little bit because I'll set boundaries. If I don't like how you're talking to me, I set a boundary and I might confront that. So lots of times that's what goes on in factories. They tend to not like somebody that has boundaries and set boundaries. So you can kind of basically come off like you're mouthy. Okay, in their eyes, you're mouthy. You know what I mean? Because I'm setting boundaries. Hey, I don't like this. Well, I'm not going to do someone else's job. I'll do my job. I'm not going to do someone else's job. They make more money than I do. You get them to do it. But anyway, someone said that I was squeezing by him at work. It was really a confined space, very narrow space to squeeze by. Everything's happening at the same time. As I'm walking, I'm saying, hey, I'm going to squeeze behind you. The guy don't like me, by the way. So as I squeezed behind him, he kind of jumped, made it look like I pushed him. So he basically went to HR, said I pushed him. They pulled the video. They didn't show me the video of anything, of course, but basically said on video, it looked like a push, so I got fired. Which I'm not going to push because I worked in financial law for like 20 or 13 years. So it makes no sense for my background. But anyway, okay, this happens a lot of times. And it happened to me. It sucks, okay, because you always feel like you want to do a great job, and it sucks because if it's not really true, you want somebody to see the truth, of course, and sometimes they don't want to. And it kind of spins around because, I'm the positive thinking guy. I'm the law of attraction guy. I'm, personal development guy for the last 20, 25 years. And when these things happen, what's really going on in the background? And what do I tell myself? Because it's easy to go back to human nature. It's easy to be pissed off for a month or 2 months and say, I'm going back to Thailand. Now this happened. Why is this happening? Law of attraction don't work. And that's what people do. They fall into that rut, they fall in that trap, and they think law of attraction isn't working. but it is working. It is working, my friends. And let me tell you my thoughts on this. Lots of times what happens when you're trying to better your life, no matter if you're into law of attraction or not, you're just trying to better your life, okay? It takes someone firing you. It takes your job to fire you to get you to move on. Make sense? If you have a religious background, if you believe in God, you believe in the universe, you believe in Mother Nature, whatever your background is, it takes someone to fire you for you to actually move on to better your life. You see what I'm saying? So law of attraction is working, but the universe knows, God knows that you're not going to move on unless somebody flipping fires you. You're not going to move on to a better life, to a better job, or a better opportunity unless this happens. That's what you got to tell yourself. Okay, we can get in a rut. Okay, we can cry over it for one day. It sucks if you got fired for something which is basically it's not true, it's not right. It's a dirty company. It is what it is. It sucks when it happens. It takes an income source away, but it needed to happen. That's what you have to understand. It needed to happen for you to move on. Okay, for example, for myself, it needed to happen for me to move on from it because I really don't want to work in a factory. I really want to work remote. Okay, the universe knows this. Okay, because I repeat it every day. It's in my mind every day. The universe knows this. God knows this. Okay, that I want to work remote. But the only way I'm going to move on from it is if I got fired. Okay, now I got fired. Now I have time, and I think I got income coming in. I'm not worried about income. I'm in that situation. I don't have to worry about income, but I am planning to go to Thailand. So the income thing does kind of play a role because I am planning on going to Thailand for 6 months. I'm not going to Thailand for 2 weeks. I'm planning to go to Thailand for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and I'll come back. I'll come back in June. This next June, I'll come back. So I am in that situation, but it still sucks. But it needed to happen for me to move on. It needed to happen for me to move on to get a remote job. Does that make sense? And that's why I tell myself, this needed to happen to me. Okay? If you're going through the same situation, this needed to happen to you for you to move on. There's a better opportunity. Remember, when one door closes, another door opens up, but most of the time, okay, that other door that opens up is a better door. I mean, trust me on this. Okay, you might not trust me. This might just be a positive video for you, but trust me on this, okay? Let me give you another story. I'm going to talk about my sister because I thought about this. When this happened to me, I really thought about my sister because this was maybe like 20 years ago. I think I just moved to California, just moved to LA. Maybe I was only there for a year or two. And my sister is 5 years younger than me. She used to work at a bank. She got tired of it. She quit. And she lives in a small town. Then she got a job working for a family dentist. He owned a couple dentist practices in a small town. And it wasn't going very good. It was kind of a very, I want to say dirty. Well, I say dirty, kind of a scammy, dirty. They talk down to you. They talk any way they want to you, especially in these small towns sometimes. It happens everywhere and big cities too. But in small towns, you kind of can be a big fish in a small pond type of thing. I mean, if you went to a big city, you're a small fish again. But you're kind of dealing with a lot of ego, especially, with somebody who owns a business or a dentist. So she was having a rough time there. And a lot of things were going on. And she kept on talking to the person that ran HR there, or the COO there, or of the small practice. And she was having issues with a couple of employees. And she asked me what I would do. She called me and asked me what I would do. And I said, well, I would just write a letter. If you're there, I basically explained, so I'm an entrepreneur. So I said, if you're there to make the place better, just write a letter. Just write a letter and explain, be open and honest that while you're there, you want to make it better, you want to make it more efficient, and blah, blah, blah. So she wrote this letter. She had me read it. I said, it sounds pretty good. She let her husband read it, my brother-in-law. My husband said, well, if you submit this letter, you're going to get fired. That's because he's like, that's how they're going to see it. They're not going to see it that you're trying to improve the company, improve the practice. They're just going to look at it as your trouble. Okay. But anyway, She submitted the letter to them. They talked about it. A week later, she got fired. so, so she tells me, I'm never going to do that again. I'm just going to go to work and do what I'm told, and that's it. Okay. But now fast forward 20 years. Okay. What happened to her? She got fired from she literally got fired from the dentist practice. Okay. Once she got fired from the dentist practice, what happened? Well, she had a job search again. When she job searched, she actually got a job working for the county. Okay. So she got a county job. Okay. Way better, like 10 times better than working for a dental office. Okay. She got a county job. Okay. In the county job, she worked there for 12 years. In the county job, she moved up the ranks. She got in and she moved way up to, I don't know, supervisor, manager, to an administrator. So she moved up the ranks in the county when she was administrator. Okay. Then she started job searching again, but she didn't want to work for the county. Then she got a job for the state. Okay. So she works for the state of Ohio. So now she has a state job. Okay, all from, listen to this, all from being fired from the dental office. Okay, so all from kind of like listening to me. Hey, write this letter. She wrote the letter. That letter got her fired. Okay, but then the opportunity opened up for her. Okay, she got a 10 times better job working for the county. Then she worked for the county for 12 years. Then now she works for the state. Even makes even more money that she worked at the county. Okay. But when I thought about that, it was kind of very funny because I was thinking, well, at that time, my sister needed to be fired. Okay. Nobody wants to be fired. But at that time, my sister needed to be fired because God knows, the universe knows that my sister wasn't going to move on from that dental practice. She wasn't going to move on unless she got fired. You know, she's not going to take a better opportunity because she's not looking for it. Okay, same way in my situation, my current situation right now, was I was just fired yesterday. It just happened. Okay, and I'm laughing about it. But, when you get fired, the universe knows that you're not going to move on. This needed to happen. If you're going through it again, I'm going to repeat myself. Okay, sometimes I need to repeat myself to sink in. You're listening to this, let it sink in. This needed to happen to you. If you're going through, maybe you got fired, terminated, maybe something similar going on, but it needed to happen to bring in better things into your life. Okay. If you're going through a bad breakup, a divorce, it needs to happen for prosperity, to open up the room for prosperity to come in. Okay. It's not going to happen when you feel stuck. Okay. You need to kind of let go and open up so things to come into your life. Certain things need to happen in our lives. Sometimes we don't understand it. Okay, we don't understand everything. Okay, but in these particular circumstances, I do understand it because, like in my situation, okay, I would have never moved on. I would have stayed at the factory clear up until I left for Thailand. Okay, maybe what if I can't see it? Okay, maybe what if I go online, apply to a job, and I work next week, making 3-4 times the salary, working remote. You know what I mean? There's an opportunity there that I don't see. Okay, that's how your mind frame has to be. Your mind frame shouldn't shift to negative. Why me? Why this happened? You're trying to figure it out. Okay, it needed to happen for you to move on from it. It needed to happen for you to bring prosperity into your life. It needed to happen so you can make more money. Make sense? It needed to happen for you to have an abundant life. Okay, whatever you want in your life, whatever you're asking God for, whatever you're asking the universe for, it needed to happen to you because God knows, the universe knows that you wouldn't have moved on unless this happened. Okay, so abundance is coming your way. Abundance is coming my way. I promise you that. Other than that, my friends, I want to keep this short, sweet, to the point. Hopefully this helps. And let me know in the comments below. Let me know situations you're in. Let me know if this happened to you. Let me know how it worked out. Especially maybe in the past, you can remember when this happened. So let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. And blessings to you, by the way.